Hello, everybody. We are back on the free to play. Okay, so, man, I gotta tell you guys, I can't catch a break. So, today was, big day off, was gonna get caught up on raid, and my wife gets a flat tire on the interstate. And so that consumed many, many hours of our lives getting that figured out. Had to pick my daughter up from school. It was just a very chaotic, situation. So, um, I have been playing. You'll see I have been spending some of my resources. You'll see I'm down to did all my arenas. About to do faction crypts here. Got my demon lord, my three demon lord keys in. Now that's the first time that I got all three keys in a couple of days. If you haven't been seen my videos, I did take a short break. I do apologize. Um, if you saw some of my earlier content, you'll know how important it is to me to make sure I get a video out every day related to raids. So, life happens, and I had to do what I had to do. But we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. We are back, and it's time to get focused up. So, I got 2,000 energy. Where am I gonna spend it? Real easy, Dragon. So we are gonna triple dip on Dragon here. I'm gonna show it to you here in a second how we're triple dipping. So we have a tournament right now, which is Dragon Turn Attack. At the end of that tournament, with 3,300 points, is 25 of the Prism Crystals. Now, that would give us a chance to draw from the summon pool. Now, don't get me wrong, these legendaries are great. I think each and every one of these legendaries would be good for the account. We would get a ally protector here. I think it is on all allies. Yeah, we would get an ally protector here with a decreased speed and a provoke on the A1, right? Oella is great. I actually just leveled her up on my main account today for a new Hydra team. And what I love about her is this turn meter fill. The increased resistance is very nice as well. But mostly I like that there's a turn meter fill on this. We do need to book her out, though. 6 turns. I don't have the books for her, so 6 turns is proving to be quite frustrating. A big heal. It is only 30% of their HP, which is less than desirable, but still good. And you also get the increasing duration of buffs, which is really, really strong for areas like Hydra, Clan Boss, etc. Um, this is only if Ultin. Wait, places. Okay, so it'll place a continuous heal, but it will only activate it if Ultan of the Shell is on the team. So she does have some extra healing there, and then a chance for decreased speed on the A1. So Countess Lix, I've got several of her now. Um, block active skills on an AoE, very good for arena. Decreased speed on an AoE, and decreasing turn meter. And then the weak version of weaken, I think no. No. That's the big version. Sorry. It's sometimes it's hard to be sure. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's the big version. Got the flaming head there. Um, big version of weaken on a 2 turn. And then Nergigante. So someone told me in the comments it's Nergigante. Let me know if that's wrong. But Nergigante Archer, amazing champion for Hydra. Also really good in other content as well. You do get a Hex and Provoke against Wave Clear, which is really, really solid. You're gonna want those abilities for clearing waves, plus the stun chance. Um, on wave content, I mean, that's 100% chance to stun. If you've never had a 100% chance to stun champion, it is incredible, and I highly recommend it. Then we've got increased accuracy on the A1. You know, no one, I wouldn't complain about that, right? Theodore is outstanding. Would really open up pretty much all the dungeons other than maybe Fire Knight on the account, and Fire Knight is solved for us anyways if we were to get Theodore. So what I also love about him is that he would be a perfect complement on our clan boss team with his ability to activate um, poisons and HP burns while also not reducing them. So the one thing that happens with Venomage, for instance, is that when Venomage attacks and activates those poisons, the ticks go down. So that poison will fall off, and we have to apply another poison. In the case of Theodore, he increases the duration of poisons and HP burns by 1 turn, then instantly activates them all. Also happens to place a weaken. We'd already have weaken on there. Oh, wait, no, they won't do the weaken. So that's fine. We don't need that. We already have a weaken coming from, what's his face? Then we have 75%. So this is where they place poisons and poison sensitivity, as well as bringing an increased speed that I don't think we currently have in our team. And then a chance at decreased speed. Now, this wouldn't be for clan boss. This would be for regular content. And then they do get quite a bit of resistance as well. Theodore is known for solo farming bosses. So Snicktrack is a character that my clan is big on. I've got several members of my clan who have Snicktrack and love him. I've never had him or built him. Well, I have. I've got like 6 of them now. But I haven't built him. I really looked into his kit. Shield on all allies. Okay. I do see the value here. Leech, decrease attack, decrease speed, plus a really... That's probably a pretty good shield, right? 30% of... If you build him with a lot of HP, that's a pretty decent shield. And then, of course, ally protection. The reflect damage as well, and then he reflects extra damage, right? So reflect damage is normally 30%. But in this case, reflects 50% of the damage his champion receives back to the attacker. Increases the amount of damage reflected by 20% from reflect damage buffs placed by allies. The damage... Wait. Increases the amount of damage reflected by 20% from reflect damage buffs placed by allies? I don't know. That reads weird. I don't know if that means like other ally reflect damage does more. But I'm not a huge fan of reflex damage, but there is value in it. I understand. I personally have not seen it or used it. So, like I said, any one of those legendaries, even Snicktrack, mainly because it would be an ally protect champion, which we need for clan boss anyways. And I think that the leech mechanic as well as the reflect damage would prove to be very beneficial for the team overall. So, now let's talk about the epics. There are too many to go into, so I'm not going to go into all of them. I'm mostly going to speak on the ones that I know of and feel would be good for the account. Now, we already have Lady Annabelle. I think we actually have 2 on the free-to-play. Lich would be good if for nothing else. Don't get me wrong, Lich has some power with the decreased turn meter by 100%. Increased defense, and that's a selfish heal and decreased accuracy, man. But we do get turn meter here and a decreased speed, yeah. So, but if nothing else, they would be good to get closer to the Razin fusion. At the very least, you get that much value out of them. I know Tuok. I don't know Tuok's kit that well. I'm not going to analyze it right now, but I do know that there are lovers and haters of Tuok. I'm curious about the ratings on Tuok. Yeah, the ratings are pretty good. I've not reviewed the kit of Tuok. I've never needed a Tuok. I've had many Tuoks, but never was it a champion. You know, when you're like, okay, I want to progress on this fight. How do I get better at it? Never was the list of champions to get better Tuok the Wanderer. In my experience, I had other champions that were higher up on that list. I think Fenax is a good nuker, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I cannot. He's capable of doing a non-revival kill. Uh, Block buffs for 2 turns. Okay. Um, I do like block buffs is something that we need. Oh no, we have Ugo. Did we get Ugo on this account? Yeah, we got Ugo on this account. Um, so don't know that we need Fenax as much, but I do know that he's good in PvP, is my understanding. Again, a champion I'm just not familiar with. That's going to happen when you're as new to the game as I am. This is somebody I got on my main account that I'm super excited about, mostly because of the passive. He's going to really help me on Hard Fire Night. So excited about that. Not a fan of Broodlord at all. Would be food. And the new guy, I don't think I was really high on. Good buffs. I just wish there was more to it. Little mini cleanse too, so that's not bad. We don't have a real cleanser on this account. But Stagnite is the big one. One thing I've learned, so I did an account takeover for somebody in my clan, and I used their Stagnite. And boy, does this A1 smack. Maybe it just felt like it, or maybe they had it built wrong, meaning like built too much damage or something, but it hit really hard, more than I expected out of an A1. But we would get decreased defense and decreased attack on the same ability, as well as this awesome increased accuracy buff uh, that can come in really, really handy in different content. So some decent epics in here that I would not be upset about getting, and a chance at some really, really strong legendaries. So, uh, you know, I so that's benefit number one of the tournament is for the dragon turn attack tournament is that we get crystals to try and get one of those champions, whether it's an epic or legendary, right? That's benefit number one. Benefit number two, we have a 3 times chance to get speed artifacts. Now, if you're relatively new to the game, which many of you are, speed is king. Um, I will bring up that account takeover again. On that account takeover, that particular individual had uh very little. All their champions were slow. It was they didn't have speed boots on any of their champions. And don't get me wrong, there are situations where you don't want speed boots on certain types of champions. There's many reasons for that. There's many different scenarios, but for the most part, you do want speed on your boots. And that's my general rule of thumb. If you're struggling with content and you can't figure it out, speed on the boots. Give it a shot. The other part of that is the speed set. The speed set is super, super important. If we take a look at, I think my fastest champion is still my Deacon. 216 speed. Speed set, perception. That's what makes perception so good. You get that accuracy while also getting a boost to your speed. Speed is really, really important. And it's important everywhere in the game. If you've watched me do My Hydra trick on this account, I'm able to do that because of the speed of my Deacon Armstrong. If I had more speed gear to make my team faster, that's more turns for me before my enemies get to take turns. Furthermore, as we get closer and closer to potentially an unkillable or even a killable ally protect team for clan boss, speed is going to become more and more important to keep those buffs up from the champions that would deliver them. So that's benefit number 2. We're farming dragon during the speed event. And I guess I'm wrong because there is no benefit number 3. Benefit number 3 starts tomorrow in the Dungeon Divers event. Yeah. Double dipping. Tomorrow will be triple dipping. That's what I was thinking of, I believe. I don't know. Because I already laid out all the 2 things. Oh, I mean, I guess just flat out getting gear too, you know, from dragon. But we have an increased chance at the 3x. Or, sorry, we have an increased chance at speed gear, which is probably, just speaking generally, the best set in the game. There are other sets that, all sets have their pros and cons, right? Lethal and Savage, great for PvP. Perception, great for accuracy and everything. But almost every champion would benefit from speed in some way for the most part. There are certainly champions that you deliberately want to be slow, but speed, generally speaking, you want to have one speed set on a champion. Again, there are exceptions to every rule, stats over sets, but in a perfect world, if you could have the sets that you want, you'd probably have speed as the 2 set and then another stronger 4 set to finish it out, right? At least that's what I would want. So, okay. That's the plan. I will be setting the game on auto overnight to run all those multi battles. I don't think I have a lot of multi battles saved up. I do actually, so I'll probably pop a lot of those. I am not gonna dig into my energy reserves. These energy reserves are for the next fusion. I am very, very confident with our current progression in the dungeons, with the exception of Spider. I feel very strong about our ability to do a fusion coming up. And I want to prove to you guys that you can do it on a free-to-play account as well, so that's part of it. I'm a little hesitant to spend all of my energy, but I mean, this is a lot of energy pots. We have a large reserve, and we're almost getting to the point where I have to start spending them too. So I plan to go for the next fusion if it's decent. If it's a meme champ, if it's like another panda, the Snorleaf, whatever the panda was that put people to sleep all the time, I'm not going to go for something like that. But if it's semi-decent, I would. As for the Monster Path event, not going for it on the free-to-play. Probably could. I have enough energy. I'm hearing a lot of success stories about people using all of their energy to level up champions. We want to be doing that anyways. But I won't be doing it on this account. I'm half doing it on my main. And it's taken a toll for sure on my time. So I don't think I can afford to do it on 2 accounts. As for the overarching Lunar Festival event and the Titan portion of it, would love to get these books. Don't really care about the soul. We didn't get the champion, but these books are great. Would love to get them if we could. So interesting, there's no shards in the mix. Well, there's a void shard there. So there's an ancient, a void, I bet you, no, and a primal, no sacred. But I mean, all of these resources are great. I'm not going to go out of my way for this particular event. It's very short, um, and you know we've got other focuses. So we do have two sacreds now. I think I got one from a clan boss, I think, on this account. Really, really, really good champions in here. Mostly uh, Duchess, one of the best supports in the game. Um, if you do want to pull shards for Duchess. Rector Drath as well. If you don't have Rector Drath already, Rector Drath carried me on my main account. Great, great healer. Great for most content. Even Hydra comes in clutch with the perfect veils, which reduce incoming damage, as well as making you untargetable in if unless everyone has it, which she gives it to everyone. Um, but the healing that she can put out early game is very, very strong. Also comes with a single target revive. Uh, Absolutely amazing champion. So if you are interested in pulling during the progressive chance event, I don't necessarily recommend it on a free to play account unless you're doing the challenge, at which point YOLO. But here I'm saving shards. I made that mistake. I chased champions before and burned through my shard stockpile. So I want to build up a shard stockpile, especially if I'm going to consider going for a fusion in the coming days. So that's where I'm at. Um, okay, I want to talk about one other thing, right? And saving it for last may be a mistake. But I did have in my Discord a very interesting question that I wanted to address. So, I cannot see. Let me disable this. Hang on. Crazy Carl asked, "Hey Road, what's your opinion on using 1,200 gems to unlock the level 1 spots in the sparring ring? I've seen some content creators say it's worthwhile. I'm curious your opinion." So, on my main account, I have all of these slots unlocked. It's a nice to have. On a free to play account, do I recommend it? Maybe later. And here's why. 1,200 is a lot of gems. And you don't have those gems coming in on a regular basis. Outside of the mine, you don't really have gems regularly generating into the account in mass. So recouping that 1,200 gems is a long time. If you were to do the math on it, I'm sure that an argument can be made that 1,200 gems worth of energy will very quickly be made up for in the Guardian Ring if you are extremely active. If you log in for an hour a day, then every one of these champions is going to gain 1 level a day. Right? That's a lot less than what somebody who plays for multiple hours a day, such as myself, gets. Because they don't continue gaining XP until you click them. They get to a point and then it stops. So it's hard to say definitively if it, I would defer to other content creators who have done the math. Me personally, I don't see it. I would rather have the gems saved up for other things. Maybe there's a really good progressive chance out there. For example, if there was a chance to get Duchess, right, in this particular case, and I wanted to go for her, I have all of these gems worth of ancient shards ready to go, right? Perhaps there's a situation where you're going to need a lot of energy and you don't have a stockpile of energy and you want to be able to buy potions with this stockpile to push content that you need, right, to get done. That's, I like having the gems for that reason. Or maybe you just get an amazing legendary and you want to build out their masteries. I want to have gems for that, right? So, uh, that's the kind of stuff that I would like to say save my gems for, not necessarily the Guardian Ring. That being said, the account does get to a point where you can invest gems in the Guardian Ring because you'll have so many of them. Um, when you hit lulls in the account, and what I mean by a lull, right? There's peaks and valleys. Right now, we just got we just got 3 really strong champions. Herndig, Ray, and Rathalos. Uh I want to build these champions. I also need to build spirit champions right now. Something like a Morag, Lady Annabelle, or even, and I'm seriously considering this, Soulbound Bowyer. And I may want, so let's say that I go through during a champion training event like this one right here, try and I level up all of those champions, work my way down, you know, I have this huge gem reserve of energy. I could go for an event like this. There's a lot of stuff out there. So at the end of the day, it's your account, and I would recommend you do what's best for you. For me, and how often or how little I am on this account, it is not, it doesn't make sense to me to do, but it might make sense to you. So that's why I defer to content creators that may have done the math and can give you the statistics and say, hey, if you play this many times a day and you invest these 1,200 gems, you could get 1,000 energies worth of input or of leveling per week. Or I'm just making up numbers because I don't know. I haven't researched it myself. Um, but I wanted to share my thoughts on it because they asked me my thoughts. So, in fact, Crazy Carl just asked me. That's what I'm responding to. If I'm streaming, so I am going to mention that here on here. I will be streaming in about 30 minutes from now. It's currently almost 10:54 p.m. I'm going to get this video uploaded to you guys, and if you would like to tune in, I will be going live here in a bit. So if you're watching this on Thursday, you may have already missed it, but if you're able to, I love just hanging out and chatting with you guys. So I'm gonna cut this recording off so I can get to streaming. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for all of the support. I'm glad to be back. I'm happy to move forward and not looking back. Let's continue on the account. The other thing that I didn't mention, we are going to be building Rathalos. That is going to take some time. I want the focus right now to be Dragon. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.